Um, it's Sunday morning. My name is Anya. The harp is still upstairs. Together we're the Flattering Harper, and this is um, the beginning of day 9 of From Here to Jerusalem. Yesterday, so where were we? So yeah, I'm walking with my harp, Sean the harp, a 26-string harp, uh, from West Cork to Jerusalem, and I'm in Ballyvourney. It's the beginning of day 9. I arrived yesterday in Ballyvourney, and I'm a harp player with 7 fingers. So at the moment I'm carrying a harp and not doing much with it. So yesterday I left Ballingeary. Day 7. What is it? Yeah, day 7. I had walked from Gugambara to Ballingeary, where I stayed with friends of my neighbour back home in Clonakilty. And Ballyvourney is, of course, northwest of where I started walking, because I headed first for the trailhead, for the closest trailhead of a walking route, a waymarked walking route, was in Drimoleague. So from tomorrow I will be on the E8. I'm heading from Mill Street this morning. Let me see. So yesterday I left Ballingeary at around 10 o'clock, just after 10, after a really good night's sleep. It was so nice being in Ballingeary. It was so much fun. Like, I got to meet everybody there. Like, we all went to the pub and we all had a few pints. Now I took it easy because I don't think I can drink loads yet. Like, the body is getting stronger. Of course, the pack is really heavy. I haven't weighed it yet, but it is heavy. I'm top heavy all the time. And yesterday my journey was Ballingeary to Ballyvourney. I didn't really look at the kilometers because it was over 2 little maps. I've from, is it Hiking Ireland or Sports Ireland? They have maps that you can use, and I used those, and they're fine. They're fine. There's not much navigation. There is a bit of walking over open land, but not loads. So when I left Ballingeary, the initial Ballingeary is tiny. Like, all these places are really tiny. Ballingeary had a shop, but for instance, no coffee shop at all. Ballyvourney has like the Mills and the hotel where I am, the Abbey Hotel. I'll tell you about that. I had no intention of staying in a hotel, but there you go. I am staying in a hotel. And I haven't seen a shop here. I heard there is a nice bookshop. And this is the place of St. Gobnet's well. So St. Gobnet would be like another big saint in this part of the world. And so I've seen St. Finbarr's, and the 2-day walk, the St. Finbarr's walk brings you to Gugambara, which is where there is a little chapel dedicated to him. A very spiritual place, really, really, really lovely, lovely place. And what was it? And then St. Gobnet is like the next one. It's a female saint. And I have to read up again about what it is, how, what. Now, I learned in Gugambara that is the actual source of the Lee. I felt like a complete dud not knowing that. Ballingeary, at the middle of the Gaeltacht, like right smack bang in the middle, all these beautiful hills. I mean, some of the photographs, I was looking at them last night. They are just amazing. It's just amazing, like. And because I'm walking over the crests of the hills, because I'm doing the waymarked walks, you get to see a lot of it. Like, there is amazing vistas. You can see the photographs where I've stuck a few of them on Twitter. I'm already behind, like horrendously behind on Facebook. I have so much in my head now. So, to live video, I've got time. I'm waiting for breakfast. I haven't had coffee yet. So, yes, started on the walk to Ballyvorney, and there was like straight away a little loop into the fields, and I went like, oh no, it's like 500 meters over the road, and I'll be like an hour in the fields. So I cut off that little bit. I don't know if I missed something that was really important, but I spent the day walking anyway, you know. So I decided to get into the next field. Over a style, I sat there, I thought about it. Will I, won't I? Because the day before, I was climbing and stuff, and I was going, I don't know how much I can do of this, because it's only 9 days, but I did it, and it was fine. There were lots and lots of sheep, lots and lots of lambs everywhere, and a big fat rabbit, like big brown rabbit. Normally they have like this grayish color. This one was like brown, and with foxy brown and dark brown, and then the little white tail, and he just sat there looking at me, and because I was downwind, he couldn't smell me. She couldn't smell me. So sitting there, ears up, looking at me, and I'm like a statue. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go again. I want to take a photograph, and I can't, because if I do, then I'll be, I'll be, I'll be there. It'll be gone. So yeah, the moment I moved a finger through the rushes, off it went. So it was I was walking along this little river. There was an old little church, stunning with all the moss, and like you wouldn't have guessed that it was a church at some stage, and it's sitting there now in this field, and it's all a big tree inside of it. It was just like magical, magical, just wonderful. Uh, so yeah, then did it go back over the road? It's a tiny bit over a road, and then you go back climbing into all the yellow fields. I had a break. I had a little break, and I walked up the hill, and of course that hill that was way more hill than I thought it would be on the map. Off I trudge, more more and more and more sheep, more sheep, loads and loads of sheep. And you know what I noticed is that I haven't met one walker yet. There is no walkers here. There's nothing. I've been out on those tracks on my own. Everybody is in a car. Everybody is in a car. Everybody is in a car. Everybody. Let that sink in. Everybody is in a car. So no walkers. I've seen no walkers. Nothing. Nada. Niente. Nothing. No walkers. So they're on the hill, and I do on my right foot. Yeah, I have that the like the when I'm coming down, the toes of my feet, they're kind of hurting. So I don't know what to do about that. Uh, I don't know what to do about that. I tied the shoes differently, tighter and less tight, and I get like tingling in the shoes. I don't know. Maybe I was thinking maybe I should tape them, or I don't know. I haven't resolved it yet. But every time when it starts hurting, I just stop for a little while. So I'm on this road, uh, up on the hill, and I'm literally. I came to the top of it. There was one of those radio masts, and the view was just amazing. So I'm up there, yeah, on my own, jumping up and down, with the harp on my back, going, yeah, this is what I came for. Look at that. Like, it was just stunning. You could see for, I'd say, a few kilometers. And you had like the green and the yellow and the slaty colors in the distance. And you could see like the different shapes of the hills behind. It was just wonderful, like wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, so that was that. And then I got the toes again, so I stopped and I ate. I had a cucumber in my bag already for like 3 days. So I ate the cucumber, and then Mary from Clare called, Mary Mulcahy Fowl, and she was saying, where are you staying tonight? Because she has in-laws in Ballyvorney. And I had tried to call the number she had given to me, and I didn't leave a message, and somebody did get back to me uh, saying that uh, did I call, and I didn't make the connection initially. So I said, no, I didn't call. Sorry, did I call you? I don't know. Who are you? Then I hung up and I went like, oh my, that must be the woman she gave me the number from. So I said, well, if you're Colette, then I am looking for you because I'm heading for Ballyvorney. And she goes, the office is not open. You have to call back on Monday. And I go like, no, but it's not about the office. It's about a place to stay in Ballyvorney. She went like, call back on Monday. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to say anything because, how am I going to explain this? And obviously they don't know that I'm coming, so that's okay. Then Mary calls, and Mary goes, Mary, Mary is the woman who, when I started crying in Italy 4 years ago, called me and said, listen now, you have to lay off the drink, all this emotional stuff. You're never going to make it there unless you get off the drink. And I thought, who is this woman? Who is she? But she'd been following me. She's not been well. And yeah, she's like turning into an optimist. And then she was the woman who made the little statue for me as well that came down from Clare, hand delivered. Sean the Harp, the walking man, Anya and Sean going to Rome. So she was on the phone to me and she said, where are you going to stay tonight? And I said, I have no idea yet, but I'm heading into Ballyvorney, and I'm gonna go be there, and I'm gonna go figure it out. I'm gonna go. There's a pub there. I'm gonna sit in the pub, and I'm sure it'll be fine. There's a few B&Bs, and I'm sure there's something. So she goes, oh, that wouldn't do. She'd called the she'd called one hotel, and they'd said that they were full because there was a busload of Americans there. And then she tried to call, and they said maybe in the pub they've got rooms. So she tried to call the pub, and she got the Abbey Hotel, and she booked me a room here. Like, and I was going, oh Mary, no, that's okay. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. No, 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 it's done and paid for. She said, because she wanted to come and walk with me. She'd woken up at 6 o'clock in the morning and thought to herself, I should get in my car, drive to West Cork and join Anya for a day's walk. Turned around, went back to sleep, woke up at 1 o'clock and went like, darn, not gonna walk today, not in West Cork anyway. So I go like, oh, thank you very, very, very much for the room. That's really, really lovely. And the next message I get, in the morning I'd gotten a message from Maureen Galley, a harp player in Cork. She had said she wanted to come and walk with me in solidarity. She has a similar kind of harp as Sean is. And she said she wanted to see, could she walk with it as well. So I get up from eating the cucumber, and she's going like, this is where I have it, like, yeah, because my brain is mush. And I'd send her my location. And she goes like, she sends me this picture of a map with an arrow going, am I walking the right way? And I'm thinking, I honestly don't know. I said, maybe send me your location and then I'll be able to see you move, maybe we can figure it out then. So we're like two like totally non-nerds trying to figure out how to map. But of course, depending on how you read the map, I always try and look at a map from the direction that I'm heading. And I don't mind. And often, like at the moment, I'm heading north, so that's easy enough. But if you're heading south, you have to always, in your head, you have to turn it around because you're going down on the map rather, so you don't see what's in front of you. You're looking the other way. It's just a visual kind of thing, looking at those maps. So I'm there going like, oh, don't drop the phone, don't drop the walking stick. And I'm looking at the map, and it's still another 6 kilometers or so into Ballyvorney. And suddenly there she is. There is another walker, my first walker on the trail, and she's carrying a harp. Oh my God. So she goes like, oh yeah, no, my car is only like 1.7 kilometers away from here. Like it's really close by. I said, ah, sure, it's only 6 kilometers. We'll get you, what do you want to do? And she goes like, oh, we'll leave the car here. And I go like, ah, sure, there'll be you can get a lift back in, yeah. So we're walking away and chatting away. We miss a turn. There was the last turn. You could go over the hill, which is the shortest way, and we ended up missing the turn because the little walking man isn't there. That road is really busy. Like it was really quiet there overnight, and now it's really like that's what is distracting me. So we're walking away, and I'm looking at the turn, and I'm looking at the map, and I'm thinking, sure, we haven't walked that far yet. Of course, when you're talking, how do you stay focused on the map? And I've been alone for 8 days, so I'm like all enthused, chatting away. And Mairead's got great stories, and she'd been. The other thing was, she'd been the reason I'd gotten in touch with her. She was in 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 Gugambara on Tuesday or Wednesday, and on Wednesday night, and I arrived there Wednesday during the day, and I arrived Wednesday evening, and she had already left, so I left him, and somebody told me that Mairead was there to play for this retreat, and we're like, oh my God, oh my God. So I left her a message saying like, I just missed you. So that was the other reason for her to come up. And she's telling me all these lovely, lovely stories. And then all of a sudden, we're looking at this really big road in front of us, and I'm going like, oh, I'm really sorry, like, we're making you walk over this big road. Um, but it was fine, because there was road battling going on. Two local lads with two lads from West Cork. Um, and they wouldn't let us pass by. So the guy says, he goes, where are you going? I said, tonight or when? Like end of the journey? Tonight we're heading for Ballyvorney. We'll be playing all the way into the village. I go, that's fantastic. Like that is great. I said, I'm in no rush. Like we can hang back. And and he goes to Mairead, and where are you going? And she goes like, I'm just here of solidarity with her. Like I wanted to know what it's like to carry a harp. So yeah, a harp. And he goes, so where are you going? I said, tonight Ballyvorney. But for me, the end destination is Jerusalem. And you could just see like it just went glassy. Like he went, what? I said, yeah, Jerusalem, the other side of the water. I said, but let me get off the island first. I said, do you want to come? Like, do you want to join me? And he goes, no, not this time. not this time. So after a while, like, and we're walking with them and chatting away, and he's showing us the balls that they throw, and he's trying to explain, like, what bowling is, and I'm thinking, yeah, I've been there, I've seen it, don't say anything. And after a while, he goes like, go on, girl, so go on, you better pass them by, like, we'll let you go. So we went ahead of them, and he said, well, see you later, like, where are you going to stay? I said, well, I'm staying in the Abbey Hotel. There'll be lads there later on to celebrate. Right, great. So we walk up into town because we'd taken the wrong turn. We had to walk all along the N22 into town because we ended up arriving into Ballyvorney at the Mills Hotel, and the Abbey Hotel is on the other side. But the walk actually ends here, normally coming over the hill at St. Gothan as well. And then you come over the bridge. And so in a little while, I'm going to go up the hill there. Now, supposedly there was going to be breakfast at 8:30. I think it's 9 o'clock by now. There's no breakfast yet. Then Mary called. I'm starting to really want coffee. Okay, that's what it is, right? Yeah, so we arrived here. I said, okay, let me buy you coffee because you know, time for a bit of a break, and we better get you a lift back. So not long after we arrive and we're having coffee, the bowling lads come in, and one of them said, yeah, yeah, no. There was a confusion, of course, because she couldn't remember what it was called, where she had parked the car, and like this whole thing started happening with the girls behind the bar, and the manager, the owner here, and he was going like, no, they had said that I had said Newbridge, and I'm going like, oh, this is all going wrong. And Mairead goes, in the end, one of the lads from the bowling, he would spin her back, but they were already having pints. And I said, well, maybe we can get you a taxi, or we'll find somebody. And she decided to walk back. She hitched a lift up to the turn and then walked back to the car, and it was all fine. But I felt really bad because it'd be me who had said like, ah, yeah, sure, Grant, it'll be fine. Like, we'll find you a lift, it'll be fine. And she ended up having to walk back, and I looked after the harp. And then she put the harp in the car, and we had dinner together here. And God bless her, like, she was like, oh, I didn't give you anything for your pilgrimage, so let me buy you dinner. So the food was really nice in here. It actually was really nice. I had lasagna. I just needed meat and carbs. And the salad was really nice. And I had a pint. And I went like, oh no, because I was kind of thinking, I just was so proud of her that she'd come out to walk with me. So I think, okay, now I'll go do my social media, do my stuff, do my update. Next thing, I get a phone call from Mary saying like, had I arrived, and she decided to go out for a spin, and she was in Killarney trying to get a bag of chips. by the time I by the time we'd finished talking, it was 11 o'clock, I think, and I was really ready to go to bed. So I went upstairs to have a shower, and yeah, I just hopped into bed, plugged in my phone, set the alarm, and the phone kept buzzing. So I thought I'd better have a look. Turns out Mary had gotten into the car and driven to Ballyvourney, and they wouldn't let her in. They wouldn't let her in. So as I understand it, she was sleeping in the car with the dog. I can't find her anywhere now, so I have to go find her. I woke up at 7:30. I did a bit of stretching, uh, and yeah, now I'm waiting for breakfast. I'm really hungry. I'm really hungry. So yesterday the weather was glorious. I don't know how to sort this out. I left her a message saying that, did she get back to me? Let me check just for a second. No, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. Um, I assume she's still around somewhere, and I'm waiting for her because it would be really, really good to see her. I don't know how I ended up, because I'd fallen asleep, with the phone in my hand, trying to do stuff. I'm just really tired because I left yesterday at 10 and we didn't arrive until I think 6 or something. Just because those hills, going up, I'm still very, very slow. Now the weather yesterday was glorious, glorious. The sky was the most beautiful azure, like turquoise, with these beautiful little clouds. And as long as you kept moving, it was really nice and warm. But then you'd stop and it'd be cold, so the breaks were quite short. Um, yeah, this morning it's all clouds. Like, and when I opened my eye, it was like dark. I think the sun wasn't up properly yet, and I thought, oh, this is going to be hard. And so far, it's really dense clouds. I'll show you. Really dense clouds. Really dense. And they say there's going to be a lot of water coming down. Now, if there's a lot of water coming down, there is a lot open ground, a lot of walking over open ground. So I don't know, some of it uphill, there's some forestry there, so I'm hoping that when the heavens do open, that'll be when I'm under cover of the trees. It's again a good bit of a walk. I don't know how far it was yesterday, the route. I'd have to look it up. I have to look it up. But I think the mileage in itself at the moment is quite low, but it's really intense because there's the climbing and the coming down. I'm really happy to do it. I'm in my head the whole time going like, whatever goes up must come down. Whatever goes up must come down. And I'm trying to take it in my stride because it is something that I always found really hard to do. Because I'm like a duck on the flat. Yeah, I just got. It's easy, but it's the hills that I always find hard to do. So it's good for me to do them, especially now. And so far, I think it is it's been really good that the mileage isn't really high because the body is really good. And this morning there's a tiny bit of stiffness. I can feel my hips all the time going up, like they're really pulling. But like my lower legs, they're not hard or anything yet. They're still in good shape. My shoulders, I can obviously feel the straps again. The indentation is back. Uh, so I think I'm doing the right thing by taking it easy, and I will get stronger, and the mileage will go up then. The next few days, I think after Mill Street, I have a day or two that there is hardly any shelter. So that'll be the next test, can I actually, if it stays really wet, am I going to be am I going to be able to hold out? Uh, I think I am. I hope so. I think so. If I make to Mill Street today, that would be very, very good. There is the parents of the guy I was working for. They live there, and I'm kind of hoping that they will put me up. If not, I'm sure I'm going to look up now if there's other places that I can stay or what I can do, how I can sort it out. And I was hoping that if I can stay with his parents, that I can take a day off. Would be good. It's day 9 now, day 10 off, because I did miss a day off. The day that I walked the Dealish Cascades, I was saying, oh, that was my day off, but I was always going to walk that, and then I was going to take a day off, which I didn't do. So I'm due a day off. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. It does make sense. That's how I ended up early in Ballingeary, because I was ahead of myself, a day ahead of myself. So yeah, that's really it. I think I'm gonna go check if there is coffee, because I could really do with coffee. I could really do with coffee. Where's Mary? Can you hear the road? Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. So straight up, I'm gonna go up the hill. I'm gonna stay on the ridge for a while. There's a steep climb in there, and then there is a steep descent, I think, and there is another hill then. Uh, I think I'll be fine. I think I can do it. I just need to make sure that I stay warm and that I don't get too wet. So I'll be packing the harp into rain gear. And from Mill Street, I'm heading. Oh, thank you, thank you. You're very welcome. Like, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure sharing it. See, I keep those diaries. I keep the video diaries. I know that sometimes they go on, they ramble a little bit, but I do them for myself. So that I have an actual, that I can see how everything changes, and how I develop, and if I'm learning things, yes or no. So I'm trying to put as much information in there. And of course, oh, mom, and my mom. It's for my mom as well. Mom, are you there? Are you watching me? Do you know, I really, I keep hearing you in the back of my head. Yeah. Oh, you're always like that. You've always been like that. Yeah, thank you very much for being here with me. It's always really nice to know that there's people out there who are keeping an eye on me, even though they're not with me. Um, so, what can I say about the Abbey Hotel? You know, it reminds me a little bit of O'Donovan's Hotel. It's like people who've been doing this for a very, very, very long time. You know, local girls are working. Oh, and then I was sitting here, and this old my Gaelga is so bad. Like apart from Anava and Bonya and Nuacht and you know the words that you would learn as a kid in school. I have no Irish. And there was this old lad, old man, and he looked at the back and he goes like, kyo. And I go, kyo, music, yeah, yeah. I go, yeah, kyo. And he said, I, I, I thought probably he was asking what is it, and I said, Closher. And he goes, Closher? Oh, there's Mary, there she is. Hello there, good morning. Good morning. Are you going to say good morning? Are you going to say good morning? Yeah, hello. Okay, well, I'm going to go hang up, so.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm going to say goodbye, so. And I'll be there later. Thank you very much for watching me. Mom, I love you. I'm going to go hug this dog. Bye. Now.